YouTube. What is going on, the Catch fam? How's it going? I saw some feedback on my Josh Freeman jersey the other day. Love to see it. I did not know there were that many Josh Freeman fans out there. I also loved him when he played for Tampa Bay. I thought he was Jameis Winston before Jameis Winston. Today I got on Cedric Benson for the Cincinnati Bengals from way back when Chad Ochocinco was running routes with TJ Houshmandzadeh. So for any of you big NFL fans, let me know if you remember him as well. Certainly going to be doing this. This is going to be a recurring theme throughout the podcast where I'm going to be kind of wearing some jerseys that not many people know about. But in today's podcast, we're going to kind of go through like 3 picks that I think in terms of bets, I think they're going to be automatic locks for this week's slate of games in week 1. And then after that, we're going to go through and look at some must starts, I think, for fantasy football and just kind of do a nice recap because we are entering week 1. Fantasy football starting off hot, but also, man, football starting off hot. We got to see a little taste test with Tampa Bay versus Dallas Cowboys, but there's so many more exciting games like the Packers, Saints, 49ers are coming back in. The Colts got Carson Wentz week 1, man. I'm excited. So let's get right into it. So one of my first takes here in terms of automatic locks is going to be the Raiders versus the Ravens. 3.5 points for the Ravens. I love this pick, man. I get it. The Ravens have been kind of decimated by injuries in the running back core, and the receiving core is also beat up a little bit too. But come on, now they're playing the Las Vegas Raiders, who absolutely gutted their offensive line and are not a great football team. I think if maybe the past week or two of news didn't come out about the Ravens running back core and losing J.K. Dobbins, I think this spread would be closer to 5.5, 6 points. So I'm going to take this where I can and take the fact that I can get the Ravens at 3.5 because I don't see we get that again. Going right down the line, Packers Saints. This game, I think a lot of people thought this was going to be very close. And I don't really understand why, to be honest. I mean, we do not have Drew Brees there. This is not going to be the Saints that of old. This is a new team with a new regime being led under a dual head approach of Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. So I am going to actually hit the hammer on this 3.5 spread. I love Green Bay coming at this. Is Aaron Rodgers' revenge tour. He's kind of, submitting his flag that he is the best quarterback in the league. At least he thinks that. So I think Aaron Rodgers is going to come out here and absolutely light up this Saints team that, in my opinion, had a really bad offseason and did not reinforce their defense. And that's going to lead into one of my fantasy picks as well. So this is not over, but that 3.5 spread is really attractive to me, and I'm going to be biting at it for sure. Going right down the line here, Vikings Bengals. This Bengals team, I don't know if there's a team that had a worse preseason and training camp, buzz report. I mean, it looked bad, whether it was Jamar Chase dropping passes and me for some reason still drafting him on my fantasy team, or whether it was Joe Burrow having a really hard time coming back after that knee injury. This Bengals team did not look like the promising talent that we thought we were going to see after they drafted Joe Burrow from LSU. So right now you can get the Vikings at a 3-point spread. So they just have to win by 3 points, guys. I really love that. This Kirk Cousins-led offense is going to be really good, really consistent week to week. And I think being slept on because people don't really fully believe in Kirk Cousins outside of maybe the Catch fam, right? But you got Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen that he's going to be throwing the ball to. And I think a lot of people believe in those guys. So let's take a piece when we can, guys, and let's go after it. Let's take the 3 points. And let's also, fantasy-wise, let's start anybody we can against the Cincinnati Bengals defense, which is absolute Swiss cheese. And I cannot wait to be taking little pieces where I can. So now we jump into the fantasy stardoms of the week, right? So we're going to go quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, kicker, defense. We're hitting them all, one from each position. And to start off, I can't think of another person to go with than Jalen Hurts here, playing against the Atlanta Falcons, which is another very forced defense, has been over the past 2+ years, right? But Jalen Hurts gives you the running upside and the passing upside, right? So he is going to be able to take advantage of this defense. And this is also a game that has an over-under right now at around 48.5 points. I think that's going to hit the over. I think this is going to be a 50-point score kind of game. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to be a large part of that. And the Falcons are going to hang in there too. So this is going to be a shootout to the end. It always is when the birds play each other. And I'm excited for it. But I do think you can lock in Jalen Hurts as a stardom for this week. Going down the list here, we got Raheem Mostert, running back for the San Francisco 49ers, starting against the Detroit Lions. I think he's going to probably have a top 5 finish this week in terms of running backs. Now, we all know Trey Sermon got drafted to this 49ers team. Trey Sermon is kind of their promising young prospect, but right now, Raheem Mostert's the guy. He has been outstanding when healthy. And guess what, guys? He's healthy. He's coming into week 1 as the true number 1 running back. And I think they just lean on him. I see him getting 15, 20 touches and him just absolutely shredding this Detroit Lions team for over 100 yards and at least 1 score. So I'm an absolute slam on this. I do think Trey Sermon has a chance to get some red zone looks. They might just give it to him because it might be a good way to kind of ink into the NFL, getting to play against the Detroit Lions. But man, I cannot, emphasize enough. This is probably my stardom across all positions. Raheem Mostert. I know we've got some 49ers fans that are part of the Catch fam, so let me know in the comments what you think here, but I'm sure you're excited as well to play the Detroit Lions week 1. In terms of receiver, man, Robbie Anderson. Obviously, he's got the competition with Terrence Marshall and DJ Moore, but I love Robbie Anderson. I think him and Sam Darnold are going to go back to the New York Jets week 1, do a little bit of a revenge tour, beat up on this terrible Jets secondary, and really kind of show them, hey, you let go of some guys that are really good. I do think Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson are going to have better days than we were expecting. And Robbie Anderson, was kind of their PPR receiver last year, and I think that's a really good chance that he does it again this year. But man, I'm excited for his potential, and you always have the chance for Robbie Anderson to get deep on any play and score a big touchdown. So I'm going to definitely be scared if I'm a fantasy owner playing against him. Luckily, John in week 1, we're playing against each other in our fantasy matchup, of course, and he does not have Robbie Anderson, so I am very thankful about that. And I told you the Packers Saints was going to come back up and how bad I thought the Saints, offseason was in terms of what they did to reinforce this defense. And that opens it up quite well for Robert Tonyan, the Packers tight end, to really feast on this defense, right? They are extraordinarily weak at the linebacker position. They did not really do a whole lot in the offseason. I think that's going to open up a ton of looks for Robert Tonyan, who, even playing against good defense, was able to get loose and score touchdowns. So I do think the only really strong part of this defense with New Orleans is their D-line and their secondary, right? So Marshall Lattimore is going to be lining up with Devontae Adams, which will present challenges. I still think Adams is going to overall cook, though. But Tonyan is probably going to see a lot of open passes, and maybe I could see a little play action pass by Aaron Rodgers to Aaron Jones, a little play action. Robert Tonyan's wide open down the seam, bang, 40-yard pass. I could definitely see that happening, and we have a share of him. He is on the Catch fam fantasy football team that John and I co-drafted, and very excited about that. And we are definitely going to be plugging him up into our starting lineup. In terms of defenses, guys, me and John have been slamming and hammering against these Giants all off season long. So I apologize to any of the Catch fam that are Giants fans, but I just really want to see it before I believe it, right? I want to see that Daniel Jones can overcome maybe some of the challenges that are presenting to him in terms of, I don't really know if he's been able to do it quite yet, but I also think that, that Giants receiving core has been a little bit banged up, a lot of injuries. Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney, obviously Evan Ingram, right? Saquon Barkley's looking a little bit rough too. So, and this O-line, it is not where it needs to be. So I do think the Broncos defense, led by Von Miller, of course, and rookie quarterback who I think can be defensive rookie of the year, Patrick Surtain, are really lined up quite nicely to just feast on this Giants defense and get at least 1 to 2 turnovers. So it's an absolute hammer play for me. I believe we also have the Broncos defense on the Catch fam fantasy football league team that me and John put together. So, this is going to be this one, along with Robert Tonyan, one we're going to have to be paying close attention to, and I'm very glad that we have shares of. Young man, the best kicker in the league. This guy is absolutely a gem. If anybody out there has gotten him on their fantasy team in the past, you know that this guy can win you weeks. He can get 15 to 20 points for your team, which is absolutely absurd at kicker, right? This is one guy that I don't really care if you go out and reach for a kicker early and maybe leave a receiver or running back on the board because he is that good. This guy can do it. 5'10", 195, 3 years of experience. Young How absolute slam kicker of the week. He is going to shred up this Eagles team. And like I said, it's going to be a high scoring game. I think he gets the chance to get at least 2+ kicks along with a ton of extra points. So I definitely see this being a double-digit performance type of game for Young How. Absolute lock. But with that said, guys, this has been a couple of the games that I think are absolute slams in terms of spread bets of the week, along with my stardoms from each position, right? So definitely leave some comments both on the games as well as on these players and what you think about that and what you think about my breakdown. But also, tell me some games you're excited about this week. We are getting closer and closer to Sunday. I've already got my appetizers lined up. I know John's going to be eating some buffalo wings, but let us know what you guys are doing on your week 1 Sunday performance. And, you heard it here first on the catch. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It definitely helps us out a ton, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think again of Cedric Benson. I saw the feedback again on Josh Freeman. I want to hear if you guys also know about Cedric Benson. And also let us know some in the comments as well about some jerseys that you guys have that are totally outdated. Maybe it's a Ronnie Brown on the Detroit Lions or a Steve Slayton from the Houston Texans. But let us know in the comments, guys. And also, thank you so much for the support you've been doing. The likes we've got and the subscribers we've got over the past month or so. I really appreciate that. And we thank you a ton. And you hear it here on the catch.